Q2 quarter two review of the business.
We are coming at a total sales of $250,000, $250,000, all right? Gross profit is around $33,800, which makes our gross margin 13.3%. We spent about $5K on ads, and our overall subscribe and save, our favorite thing to talk about, went up to 595. That is 132 more than Q1.
E-commerce is the greatest business opportunity of our generation.
What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Ecom Unlimited podcast. It's your boy Caj, as always, here with my co-host Josh.
What's going on, everybody?
And before we get into the topic for today, I wanted to quickly shout out the sponsor of today's episode, and that is Smart Scout. Smart Scout is our go-to tool, that was hard to say, for finding brands to partner with on Amazon. It's one of the only tools that actually gives you brand level aggregate data so that you can see the amount of sellers, how much it's selling. It gives you reports that you can send to the brands. And they're even coming out with new features to help do keyword research that you can use to then optimize these brands. So guys, Smart Scout is a tool that we use every single week in our business. All right, so topic for today, guys, we're going to do a Q2 quarter two review of the business. So I will hand it right over to Josh. Josh, go ahead and kind of share what our overall numbers were for Q2, and then we'll break down a couple of our brands.
Absolutely. I think I can confidently say this is probably our best, what are we, quarter number two here? Q2?
So today is July 3rd. So we literally just finished
Q2. Okay. So I would say this is probably our best Q2 that we probably ever had.
Actually, that's true, yeah. Because normally we've been very heavy Q3, Q4, especially in the OA days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Sure. We were always heavy on the Q3, Q4 side. So we are coming at a total sales of $250,000, $250,000, all right? Gross profit is around $33,800, which makes our gross margin 13.3%. We spent about $5K on ads, and our overall subscribe and save, our favorite thing to talk about, went up to 595. That is 132 more than Q1. So that is what gets me excited and gets me up in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Besides my normal job at physical therapy.
Yeah, very, very strong quarter. Very happy with how it ended. I started off slow. The first couple months in Q2, well, there's only 3 months. So month 1 and 2 of Q2 were kind of slow, but then we had some good products check in June. So, I mean, June was really a strong month. I forget exactly what June closed out at. But probably 40% of that revenue came in June.
Yeah, and again, so just not to sugarcoat anything, I mean, it was mostly this just increase in revenue over the past 3 months was mostly driven by a wholesale product that we have bought before.
Yep.
However, also some additional revenue has come from continuing to grow our brand direct side of things as well. And as people are falling off the listings that we're getting exclusives for, we're starting to see more revenue there. So Kaj, walk us through our top 2 brand directs, what the numbers look like.
Yes, and so we got 2 brands that we'll talk about. So we've got, I forget if in last episode we just said Musk's brand or Elon Musk's brand. And then we've also got Uncle Jeff's brand. So today first, we'll talk about Musk's brand, then we'll go to Uncle Jeff's, which are 2 of our favorite brand direct accounts.
Let's do the reverse, because I want to know who's at the top. Uncle Jeff's at the top with the revenue.
Oh, sure. Okay.
It's bringing in the most revenue. Let's talk about Uncle Jeff's first.
Okay. Do you want me to do that, or do you want to take it?
No, go ahead. Take it away.
Okay, here we go. So Uncle Jeff's brand, which this brand we have had as an exclusive for about a year and a half-ish, a little bit less than that. For Q2, $80,000 in revenue, gross profit $15,000, gross margin, which is very, very solid, 19%.
My gosh.
And then this brand, we also spent just over $1,000 on ads. So about 1,400 in ads. And then we also are always running coupons for this brand, which is a major hack.
Yep.
Helps with click-through rate. And obviously from that high gross margin, we're able to afford that. And we spent about $1,900 just on using coupons, which Amazon, this is a side note, but Amazon recently changed the coupon free structure. So they've kind of become a little bit more expensive, which is annoying, but there's still enough margin for us to kind of eat that. So yeah, Uncle Jeff's brand, super solid. And I'll throw in another thing here on Uncle Jeff's brand. So earlier this week, again, it's beginning of July, as in yesterday, the inventor of the product reached out to me, this is the first time I've been in contact with him, mainly have been in contact with like their operations COO kind of person. But from the monthly reports that we've been sending them pretty much every single month, they see what we're spending on ads, they see the return, they see the growth, and they just love working with us. And they're like, you guys are awesome. Love that you're taking this on. How can we grow? So they've been giving us more information about the product, trying to run more ads on Facebook and Instagram, which that's a whole different side of the thing. But
we have not done that. That is done by somebody else. And we have seen the ads and we have maybe laughed at the ads, but we are staying strong with the brand.
Yes. There's room for improvement for sure. But they're working, because he was telling me that they're getting sales from those ads. And also he was asking me if we're seeing a bump on Amazon when these ads are running as well, because he was just kind of curious, like if people are searching for it on Amazon. And when he was telling me like the days that the ads were performing well, I was like, oh yeah, we did see an increase on those days as well, which is cool. So he also wants to try running some ads and specifically telling people to go find the product on Amazon and see how that works, which is really cool. So they're even willing to drive traffic from off Amazon to Amazon because of the partnership that we have, which is just, super awesome.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool. And I think that's super rare too, especially with a company that is doing that much. Technically they're almost doing like $1 million on Amazon. Like it's got to be pretty
close to it. Yeah, between the two main products. Yeah.
So, actually a little bit less. Actually, a quarter. That would be, but like on like their main websites and with all their sales,
all together, at least that probably more. And I don't know if they're in brick and mortar too, but yeah.
I would assume they're at least in some brick and mortar.
Yeah, but they're not like in every Walmart or anything like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, Musk's brand. What is that looking like?
So this brand, in the last quarterly review, we talked about how we had just gotten the exclusive with them, have been following up for a while, and we had just started to like really lock things down and actually start to get good sales on their product. So now we're starting to reap the benefits of that. The brand did have some like supply chain manufacturing issues, and let me not even say issues, just delays. So had really long lead times on some POs. But at the beginning of June, which also coincided with that other big wholesale order landing, we got some of their products in, and then those products started ripping, other orders started ripping, and obviously reap the benefits of that. So,
and a large seller ended up falling off, I believe.
Yes, and another person, old wholesaler who still had inventory, sold out of some stock, and then that pretty much gave us the entirety of the buy box, which was fire. So total revenue for Q2, $35,000, much less than Uncle Jeff's brand, but I think in Q3 it'll be the bigger brand. Gross profit of that $35,000 in sales, the gross profit is $5,500. Gross margin at 16%. We spent a lot more on ads on this brand, $2,100, and then for coupons was about $800. So for this brand, we actually spent more on ads than we did with Uncle Jeff's brand, but it's kind of because of the product category, and they're more keywords that we're able to spend on profitably for this brand. So I think not only just because we're finally becoming the only seller on them, but also because of the opportunity and the kind of keywords that we can target, I think we have really, really strong growth potential for this product in particular. So I'm really excited for it for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, I agree. I'm super excited because I think we will see in Q3 that Musk brand is going to bring in some decent revenue. and it'll be interesting to see who comes up on the top of the charts.
Yes, I'm going to do some math right now to see what I can project for that one. Just
Sure.
from their hero product. So if we're doing that times,
Here, you calculate that, and I'm going to give them an update.
I think at least 60K.
Oh, just on one product?
Just from one ASIN. I think that's the
yeah.
floor. I think the peak would be like 75K. And again, that's just their hero ASIN, not their other products too.
Yeah, not the other ones. All right, so that'll be interesting to see. It's going to be a close race potentially to see who comes out on top Q3. We also started working with another brand direct exclusive relationship this quarter. However, we are currently running into some brand registry issues. So we have not started selling their product yet, but we are excited because they had a very successful Kickstarter. So it'll be interesting to see. And I also believe they have branded keywords on Amazon already, which is something that we look for. So that is exciting. Cajua was able to go to a trade show out in Salt Lake. Could you talk us through what happened there?
Yeah, so I went to Outdoor Retailer. It was a great trade show. My first time going to that specific one. And went there. Jonah Hodges was also there. There was supposed to be a member from the Wholesale Network who was also going to be there, but unfortunately he had some family stuff come up and wasn't able to go last minute. But yeah, it was great. It's definitely a very different vibe than like an ASD or even the one that we went to in PA, which is kind of cool to see how each trade show has its different, not only kind of people, but setting and whatnot. I think my biggest takeaway from that trade show is how interested brands are in selling on Amazon. One of the keynote speakers, and you can't even really call it a keynote. So on the trade floor layout, there was like a stage in one of the corners where you could just kind of walk in or out, listen to whoever was presenting. One of the presenters was a bigger agency, and they were just kind of walking brands through how to optimize on Amazon, optimize on Walmart, obviously also pitching their services, but giving like a decent walkthrough of like, these are the things you should be looking for when you're trying to get on Amazon. And a lot of more like niche brands who just have their own website, maybe a few brick and mortars, but aren't like huge yet. So also with that, had a lot of really good conversations with brands about, hey, this is how we partner with people. This is what we can do for you on Amazon, and had like 2 or 3 conversations that I think there'll be something that comes of that. Still have some following up to do. The one that I'm the most excited about so far has not responded to me, even though we had a good conversation in person, but I'm going to keep hammering them until they finally respond to me. But out of those kind of 3 that have potential, I think we'll end up working with 1 or 2 of them, which was pretty much my goal from the trade show, was to come away with at least 1 new partner.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very nice. And then we had our first agency client this month, which is super interesting. We haven't done any sort of agency work before. We took this brand in as a potential, first client. Something that we could like really build some systems around. How did you think it went, Caj? And what are some things that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, so we're still working with them. Project isn't completely finished. I definitely realized it, even though it's almost exactly the same as working with a brand partner in terms of optimizing the listing and, really just optimizing the listing. But for them, their listing was just terrible. And not as an insult, it's just they had cross-listed from Shopify and didn't do anything else from that. So very minimal title, like 2 or 3 pictures, not really explaining the product, no A+ content, no brand storefront. So for us, it's redoing all the listing details, the title, the bullet points, the description, making completely new images, making the A+ content, making the brand storefront. Unfortunately, right when we signed the deal with these guys to do their listing, the graphic designer that we had been using no longer was available for us to use. Job situation, family situation changed. Nothing bad happened between us. But we had to find a new graphic designer the exact moment we started, which I don't even remember if I told you that or not. But that that really screwed things up for the first couple weeks. But now that was kind of the main bottleneck, was getting the images tweaked during all of that. But overall, it definitely went well. Really happy with what we were able to deliver to them. Still finishing tweaking the A+ content in the branded storefront. But they're definitely going to see increase in sales from the work that we've done. And I also think that this will hopefully lead into us just buying and reselling wholesale and doing that exclusively as well. Because the other thing is they only sell FBM on their listings. All their main competitors are FBA. So there's only so far that they're going to be able to grow on Amazon by doing FBM. But overall takeaway, went well. Tweak some systems because there are differences between working with a wholesale partner versus an agency partner or an agency client. But now we definitely have those things a little bit more dialed. And the rest of this year, I'm very excited. However many agency clients it ends up being, maybe we'll do outreach for it. Mainly we'll only take referrals. Don't really know that part of it yet. But we definitely have the systems now built out to be even more dialed with our agency clients.
Yeah. So, guys, again, in summary, Q2, roughly around $250,000 in revenue. Around, I would say, 40% of that was a really good wholesale product that we're continuing to buy. The other 60% was more like brand direct stuff as we continue to grow our brand direct, as individuals continually fall off that are selling that brand direct exclusive that we have under contract. And I'm kind of excited for the agency aspect of things. I think the agency aspect of things could lead into more brand direct exclusives in the future, which I'm really excited about. And then hopefully we can get this brand registry issue figured out with our brand exclusive that we were working with this quarter. So guys, that about wraps it up. You guys know what to do. Comment below if you guys want us to talk about anything in particular. We really want to get to know what your guys' thoughts are, all right? If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, follow the podcast so you can stay updated on all of our new content. And we will see you on the next one.